Unseen warriors, unheard voices, and unbroken hearts. Welcome. You stand here today, not by accident, but by the force of everything you have endured. I open to you not with a timid greeting, but with the thunder of solidarity and the resonance of truth. You are not weaker for what you have carried. You are not small because the storm you held within was hidden. You are a force, an unrecognized, misunderstood, yet indomitable force. So listen, they never saw the storm. You were hiding until it destroyed everything they built. The words sting like salt in a wound, yet they carry catharsis, and beneath them lies a simpler, quieter whisper. They never saw the storm you carry. That storm, they thought you sheltered it, had tamed it, or contained it. But storms don't always bow to our will. Sometimes they rise, and sometimes they demand reckoning. You have journeyed through shadowed valleys. You have borne tremors of grief, betrayal, frustration, injustice, disappointment. Those burdens shaped a tempest inside you. And for too long, that storm lay dormant, silently watching, quietly swelling. You smiled when the world demanded your brightness. You whispered when others wanted your voice loud. You accommodated when others insisted you comply. You built bridges across your own suffering, hoping people would walk across and see you. But many never did. They never saw what haunted your nights. They never recognized how your spirit flickered when you thought no eyes would watch. They never perceived that your heart, behind the laughter, was wrestling with devastation. They praised what they saw, the composed face, the diligent performance, the calm veneer. They applauded your capacity to endure, to persist, to shine. But they never knew the storm inside was hungry, restless, demanding release, until it destroyed everything they built. Yes, the foundations they assumed steady trembled. The facades they erected crumbled. The illusions they trusted shattered, because the storm you carried was stronger, deeper, more relentless than they ever believed possible, and they could not contain it, could not predict its magnitude, could not brace themselves for its full unfolding. In their blindness, they forgot one ancient truth. Storms are not governed by consent. Pause. Let that sink. They never saw. They never seemed to know. They never understood. And then the impact came. Some will recoil at this. Some will whisper that destruction is wrong. I do not condone wanton ruin, but I understand the meaning of this metaphor. Your truth cannot be contained forever. Your clarity cannot remain obligated to silence. Your force cannot forever yield to the illusions other people erect. If they build their world on your suppression, on your unseen fury, on your dormant might, they will eventually be undone by their own neglect, by their own lack of perspective, by their own refusal to see what was real. Today, I exhort you, embrace the storm you carry, not as a curse, but as a clarifier. Let it speak. Let it demand justice. Let it dismantle what is false, so that new foundations may be laid. Let it purge what is toxic. Let it define your borders, your worth, your sovereignty. Do not shrink when the winds lash against you. Do not apologize when the thunder rolls. Do not silence yourself when the lightning cracks. Open your resolve. For the storm is part of you. In it lies your courage, your fury, your vision, your reclamation. They never saw, but that does not make you lesser. It means they were never equipped to see. It means they were looking through cracks and mirages while you held a storm that could upend worlds. They never deemed it real. They never diagnosed its weight. They never honored your shadows or your scars. They never believed you had that much power. You did. So rise with the storm. Let it be your solemn testament that silence is not your nature. Let it declare that hidden resistance is not inert. Let it proclaim that what was buried is not dead, only waiting for the precise moment to bloom in strobes of revelation. Yes, carry the weight, but carry it with the intent to transform. That which destroyed their illusions can become your awakening. That which unsettled foundations can become your redemption. That which dismantled their delusions can build your clarity. You must dare to let them see the storm, not so they tremble or cower, but so they recalibrate their vision. Not so they judge, but so they reckon. Not so they cower, but so they understand that your authenticity is your power, not your liability. Do not be afraid that the explosion will obliterate everything. Some things deserve to be undone. Old lies, hollow promises, shaky allegiances, unworthy alliances. Sometimes what collapses was never meant for your future. Let the storm purge. Let the storm purify. No, when the storm arises, some will be astonished. Some will be terrified. Some will retreat. Some will blame you. Some will accuse you of overreacting, of too much. They will say you should have stayed hidden, remained quiet, or tempered your power to suit their comfort. They will guilt you with silence, with expectations, with their inability to perceive magnitude beyond their narrow frames. Stand firm. Let them cringe at the brightness of your own force. That is their shadow, not yours. Do not dim your lightning because they lack eyes. Do not hush your thunder because their ears cannot register resonance. Do not shrink your presence because their minds have constricted horizons. They never saw the storm. That's their limitation. But now they must witness how real you are. Yes, let the storm unravel their assumptions. Let it dismantle the architecture of false comfort. Let it shake their complacency. Let it waken what they have refused to see, the depth of your integrity, the breadth of your resolve, the magnitude of your soul. When the storm strikes, some will run to rescue what they built. But what they built was built on illusions, on unspoken despair, on your hidden agony. Their structures will not withstand the collapse. Let the false facades fall. Let their expectations crumble. Let every weak pillar snap. Let every deceit be revealed. Let the hidden fractures show. And from the ruin you will emerge, not broken, but renewed. You will salvage what is true. You will breathe life into what is real. You will construct with materials forged in your own wounds, healed into wisdom, tempered into strength. You will no longer carry the storm as a secret. You will carry it as a living testimony to everything you refuse to regret, everything you refuse to bow to, everything you refuse to silence. You will become the blueprint others could not write. You will become the four others could not imagine, because they never saw the storm. But now they must reconcile with its reality. Imagine the faces when they realize it was never about them. It was never about their comfort, or their view, or their complacency. It was about your truth. It was about your reclamation. It was about your sovereignty. It was about your refusal to stay small, so others might feel safe. Now, hear me. The storm is not your enemy. The storm is not your curse. It is your signal. It is the cry of your inner world demanding recognition. It is the watermark of your depth. It is the instrument through which you speak what could not be spoken, compels the ground to listen. It is the reckoning of your hidden chapters. When you let it awaken, it will demand something of you. Responsibility, clarity, boundaries, discernment. It will require that you not become indiscriminate in destruction. It will force you to choose what you salvage and discard what is unworthy. It will sharpen your vision for who deserves entrance into your life and who must be distanced. It will refine your capacity for compassion, not softness, because you will know the difference now between what nourishes and what drains. Let the storm be your moral compass. Let it be your authenticity barometer. Let it be your barrier against compromise. Let it be your clarion that says, I will not endure dark pretenses any longer. I will not pretend to the world that my light is casual when it has been born from chaos. Remember, storms are not indefinite. They rage, they roar, they tear, they cleanse, and then they subside. After the thunder, the air is clearer. After the lightning, the world is more exposed. After the deluge, seeds sprout anew. Your storm will recede, and what remains will be the soil of your new world. What remains will be your presence, your alignment, your uncompromised self. What remains will be the people who stayed, and they will stay because they saw you, not what you performed. They saw the storm you carried and chose to stand with it, not flee. What remains will be your vision for a life built from clarity, strength, integrity, fierce love, and purposeful renewal. So walk into the ruins of what they built with your head held high. Walk into the scorched ground, more luminous. Walk into the aftermath, not seeking approval, but offering your truth, wielding your strength, owning your scars. Walk forward, not burdened, but awakened. Walk forward, not moored to the past, but tethered to the clarity of who you are meant to be. And as you walk, know this: others will now see the storm. Others will now grapple with the fact that they underestimated you. Others will now feel the weight of what they ignored. Others will recalibrate their idea of you. Others will look stunned, fearful, respectful. Others will reassess whether they deserve proximity to you. Let them see, let them witness, let them reckon. They never saw, but now they must live with the revelation. Now, for you who listen, let this truth lodge in your marrow, in your sinew, in your midnight resolve. Your storm is not your shame. Your storm is not your defect. Your storm is not a liability. Your storm is your testament. Your storm is your vessel of reclamation. Your storm is your clarifying thunder. Do not bury it any longer in the tomb of they won't understand. Do not hush it with false politeness. Do not hide it under the ash of wrongly applied humility. Declare it. Let it speak. Let it redefine what you permit. Let it guard your borders. Let it burn away illusions. Let it pull you into your own sovereignty. And when you stand, when the storm has done its work, you will know this: you are stronger than silence. You are more potent than suppression. You are freer than fear. You are the author of your own truth. You are the catalyst of your own renaissance. They never saw the storm you carry until it destroyed everything they built. Let them see now. Let them reckon. Let them never doubt again. Let them never assume you smaller than you are. Let them never presume they could manage your spirit. Let them never confuse your silence for weakness again. This is not vengeance. This is not spite. This is reclamation. This is your recalibration. This is your awakening. This is your right. Be the storm. Be the truth. Be the force. And when the tempest quiets, let what remains be unshakable. Let what remains be you, undiminished, unconquered, unashamed, utterly ale. And as the storm settles into a sacred silence, one not of suppression, but of revelation, you will find something you had not expected to find in the wreckage: peace. Not the kind of peace that is granted by the world, not the hollow calm that comes from pleasing others or hiding your pain, but the rare, radiant peace that rises when you finally accept all of yourself. When the storm has spoken and the world has heard, you will walk through the remnants of what once held you captive, words that belittled, promises that bound, roles that restricted, and you will no longer grieve them. You will no longer chase after their approval. The storm has taken what no longer served you. The storm has cleansed what was never meant to stay. And now, in the echo of that great unveiling, you are left not with ruin, but with truth. They never saw the storm, and that is their burden to bear. But you see it now, and you know it. You've walked through fire, danced in the whirlwind, stood still in the eye of your own reckoning, and you did not fall. You did not fade. You did not fracture. You rose. Let them speak. Let them whisper stories to comfort themselves. Let them wonder how they never noticed, never guessed, never prepared. You owe no explanation to those who chose blindness when your soul was screaming for recognition. Your journey is not an apology. It is a declaration. Let every breath you now take be infused with the power of having faced your own shadow. Let every step forward be grounded in the memory that you no longer live under the weight of silence. Let every decision you make now be filtered through this new lens. Does it honor the storm within me? If not, it cannot stay. Because now you know something sacred. You know what it means to hold power within, quietly, patiently, without demanding permission. You know the discipline it takes to contain that magnitude until the right moment arrives. And you know the courage it takes to let it rise, even when the world would rather you kept it hidden. You are not dangerous for carrying this storm. You are not wrong for letting it roar. You are honest, and that honesty, born from the fusion of your rage and your love, your wounds and your wisdom, your shadow and your light, that is what makes you unstoppable. There will be others who see you now and feel discomfort. Good. Let them feel what truth does when it enters a room. There will be those who call you too much, too intense, unpredictable. Smile. They're telling on themselves. They're revealing they were never worthy of the fullness of you. The ones who stay, the ones who meet your eyes now and do not flinch. Those are your people, not the ones who adored your silence, but the ones who respect your thunder. Not the ones who praised your composure, but the ones who stood with you in the tremors. Not the ones who loved your light only, but the ones who walked with you in the storm. Hold your head high. This world needs the ones who no longer fear their own force. This world needs the voices that come from chaos, shaped by pain but aimed at truth. This world needs the storms, not to destroy blindly, but to reset, to purify, to remind us what matters. You are not the villain in this story because you finally spoke, finally shook the ground, finally ended the charade. You are the beginning of a new era, your era, one where you do not dim, one where you do not twist yourself to fit broken spaces, one where you do not filter your soul for others' comfort. The storm you carried was never meant to remain dormant forever. It was not meant to die in silence. It was not meant to rot inside you while the world misunderstood your softness for weakness. It was meant to rise, to remind you of who you are, and to clear the path for everything that comes next. And what comes next? Rebuilding, reclaiming, realigning. You rebuild from truth. You reclaim your story. You realign your path with your true self, not the self they wanted you to be. You stop asking for seats at tables where your voice is unwelcome. You build your own table. You stop knocking on doors that require you to shrink to enter. You build your own house, rooted in your own worth. You stop waiting to be chosen. You choose yourself. You will no longer negotiate your value. You will no longer participate in systems or relationships that cannot withstand your storm. If your presence rattles weak foundations, so be it. If your truth makes others uncomfortable, let it. That is not cruelty. That is growth. You are not here to make others comfortable. You are here to live fully, boldly, awake. You are here to walk in the aftermath of your own transformation and carry the torch forward for those still hiding their storms, for those who haven't yet found the strength to let go. And when they come, those with weary eyes, those with silent storms, they will look at you and find hope, not because you were always perfect, but because you were honest, not because you never broke, but because you rebuilt, not because you never raged, but because you turned your rage into clarity. They will see you and understand that survival is not enough. We are here to thrive. The legacy of your storm will not be destruction, it will be truth. It will be the structures that rise in its place, stronger, truer, realer. It will be the relationships that remain, the ones built on truth, not performance. It will be the dreams that awaken, the ones born from freedom, not fear. They never saw the storm you carry, and that will echo in their memory. But you will no longer carry it as a burden. You will wield it as a banner. You are not the same as you were before. You've tasted your own power. You've felt the walls fall. You've seen what happens when you stop hiding, and you will never go back. Let that be your legacy. Let that be your thunder. Let that be your unshakable truth. That even when they never saw it, even when they never believed it, even when they never respected it, the storm within you rose, and it changed everything. You did not destroy to wound. You destroyed to rebuild. You did not unleash chaos. You released clarity. You did not lose control. You claimed your destiny. And now, in the quiet that follows the storm, you are no longer waiting to be understood. You are the understanding. You are the reckoning. You are the force that broke the illusion and became the truth. They never saw the storm, but they will never forget what followed. Good. You stayed. That means you're not just listening anymore. You're awakening. Because once you've heard the truth in your own bones, once the storm has carved its message into the walls of your soul, you don't go back to who you were. You don't crawl back into the shell. You don't shrink just because someone else flinched at your fullness. You rise differently now, not because you're trying to prove them wrong, but because you finally realize what it means to live right. This moment, right here, this is where you begin again. Not from scratch. No, from power. The power forged in silence. The power cultivated in nights when no one heard your cries. The power grown in all the moments where you kept going while everything inside you screamed to give up. The power that doesn't need applause, doesn't need spotlight, doesn't even need validation. Because this power, your power, was never meant to be seen by everyone. It was meant to be felt when it mattered. That's what the storm is. A force that shifts everything when the time is right. A reminder to the world that you were never meant to be ignored. And now that time has come. You will move through the world differently. You won't speak with timid apologies. You won't wait to be called on. You won't suppress your fire just to warm others who wouldn't even give you a spark in return. You've crossed the threshold. You've faced the breaking. You've endured the silence. You've shattered the illusions. And now, you create. You create from truth, from wisdom, from scars that no longer ache, but glow. Yes, they never saw the storm, but now they see you. And you are the aftermath, the rebirth, the walking evidence that power unexpressed does not mean power non-existent. They tried to define you by the version of you that served them. They labeled you based on the pieces they could understand, but they never asked about the rest. They never asked what it cost to stay quiet. They never wondered what you might become once the restraints broke. But now, the silence has ended. You will not be reduced. You will not be misunderstood without correction. You will not be a ghost in your own life. This next chapter, it belongs to the storm. Forged version of you, not the polite version, not the pretend you're oh sheep version, not the version they celebrated for being easy to handle. Number. This chapter is written in thunder, in presence, in voice, in relentless honesty. You do not need to yell to be powerful. Your very being is now a declaration. The way you walk, the way you hold your space, the way you say no without explanation, the way you protect your peace like it's sacred ground, because it is. You've earned every inch of this clarity, every bit of this unshakable self-trust. You earned it by surviving what they never saw, by holding together what should have fallen apart, by choosing growth when you could have chosen bitterness, by rising again and again without needing them to witness it. But now they have. Now they feel it when you enter a room. Now they second guess how they treated you. Now they realize what they lost when they dismissed you. Now they see the storm and the silence that followed. You are not just the one who endured. You are the one who emerged, transformed, refined, rebuilt. You are the one who refused to vanish. Let them talk. Let them speculate. Let them try to rewrite the past. You are not there anymore. You've outgrown it. You no longer live where they abandoned you. You no longer shrink to fit the rooms they offered. You've built your own foundation now, and it's rooted in something they never had access to. The storm you carried. That storm taught you more than any comfort ever could. It taught you how to rebuild, how to walk away, how to say enough, how to breathe even when it hurts, how to see people clearly, even when they pretend to be something they're not, how to protect your energy like a sacred resource. It taught you how to lose everything and still rise without bitterness. And most importantly, it taught you how to stop waiting. No more waiting to be rescued. No more waiting to be seen. No more waiting for permission. No more waiting to be chosen. You choose yourself now, every single time. And yes, that will unsettle people. That will offend the ones who only valued you when you were small and silent. That will frustrate those who benefited from your invisibility. Let it. You are not here to be easy. You are here to be real. You are not here to soothe egos. You are here to speak truth. You are not here to stay in the background. You are here to build your own stage. And when people say, "You've changed," smile. Because you did. You changed into the version of you who no longer hides. That version doesn't carry the storm as a burden anymore. They wear it like a crown. Because this, all of this, was never about destruction. It was about release. Releasing the version of you who tolerated too much. Releasing the fear that kept you small. Releasing the lies you told yourself just to survive. Releasing the illusion that your power was dangerous. It never was. It was just misunderstood. Now, you understand it. You felt it. You've walked through fire and come out forged. You've reclaimed your voice, your art, your energy, your worth. And now, with nothing left to prove, you walk forward. Not chasing, not begging, not explaining, not apologizing, just moving with intention, with power, with peace. This is your new foundation, built not from approval, but from truth, built not on old stories, but on radical ownership, built not on fear, but on fire. So to anyone watching now, wondering how you became this, let them know. This is what happens when you stop pretending. This is what happens when you honor your own storm. When you stop asking if you're too much. When you start asking why you accepted so little. When you break the mold and don't go back to clean up the mess. This is what happens when you reclaim your life. And to you, the one still carrying that quiet storm in your chest, the one wondering if it's safe to let it rise. Yes, it is. The world may not be ready, but you are. Because if you've made it this far, you already know you were never the problem. You were the solution they weren't ready for. You were the truth they couldn't accept. You were the storm they never saw coming. And now that it's come, let it speak. Let it clear. Let it rise. Let it rain. They never saw the storm you carry, but now they will never forget it.